Hello everybody, welcome back to my studio Warsaw, Poland. I'm Paul, this is my humble YouTube channel, a place where we talk about music mixing, mastering, production, sound design, game audio and more. Guys, it's really good to see you again, and I mean it. You're a great public, you know that, right? Probably I don't tell you this often enough, but I really love all your comments, reactions, feedback, and they keep me do and really enjoy what I'm doing. So let new comments, new discussions flow. Let new people flow into my channel. Yo. And yeah, today we will shoot something I promised you some time ago. KVR Developers Challenge 2023. This is the biggest fast for free plugins, I would say. This is the best time of the year to grab some new cool free plugins. And I promised you to review all of them, but I realized this is going to be an endless video, a couple of hours probably. So I chose 3 of my favorite ones to review them for you a bit more in detail. Let's go. Hey, do you like my channel, my studio and my vids? You can subscribe somewhere here, support me somewhere here I think, and you can like this vid and comment on it so we start a new discussion. Yeah, I chose 3 out of 23 plugins that are there in the contest, and maybe a few words about the contest if you haven't heard for it for any reason. It's an official KVR challenge for plugin developers with a prize funded by KVR users. For now it's $571. It doesn't happen every year. We had a contest 2 years ago. Then back in 2018, I think, yes, 2012, 2009, and so on and so on. And there have been plugins, the winners of the contest, that you probably use until now. Yulin Loudness Meter was once the winner of this contest, which is probably enough of a recommendation to put your hands on what's there in 2023. We're gonna have a very quick look at the full list of plugins, and I'm gonna tell you what I chose for you today and why. And here we go. Master Octachord version 1, which is a simple tool to create chords in scales. It's a nice basic music theory tool. I'm kind of, let's say, fine with music theory. I also got some music theory tools, so I decided to skip this one. Remember, only my preferences and my very subjective points are made during this review. Then Wave Breaker, a limiter by Press Play. I haven't heard about them before. Okay, analyzer. They've got an analyzer. Looks very simple, but kind of inviting. I decided to give it a go. And yes, there's going to be one of the plugins I will review in detail for you today. Then I've got thingz, which is a VST2 to VST3 wrapper. I also decided to skip this one. Then I've got Black and Blue basses, bass guitars by Karo-Rifer. I think these guys, or this guy, is Polish. I'm not a bass guitar guy, so I decided probably it's cool, but not for me. Then Roundels, which is an Euclidean sequencer. I decided to skip it too because, okay, I've got some sequencers, at least 2 that can work with Euclidean concept of making sequences. And then comes ForkHz by Callybeat. I will see this guy, those guys. Yeah, they have a sub-bass synth and some other synth here. 10 bands of EQ plus some sequencing lifetime, also being able to sync it in time, some options to modulate your frequencies in time, and that made me think it would be a cool plugin to take a look deeper. So that's the second thing I'm going to review for you in detail. Then I've got Turbo Paco algorithmic reverb, which is a cool, probably basic algorithmic option. I tweaked it, I installed it, tweaked it a bit. Really decent, really nothing wrong about it, but I maybe was looking for something a bit more innovative or interesting. Then I've got a presser with one knob enhancement. I'm not into one knob products in general, so I skipped it. Then bass tame, which is a bass compression tool. I tweaked it a bit. Nice, but I preferred to focus on something else as well. Then Alien Stepmother, which is another cool, visually compelling sequencer. I tweaked it again a bit. I found it kind of interesting, but not my favorite in the whole set, I would say. Then Northern Trumpets, which are also a cool, basic, free option for jazz-like trumpets. I tweaked it a bit with my keyboard. Probably breath controller would be way better for this. I decided to not to go for this as well. Then I've got AFEQ, which is another 12 bands equalizer. Looks like this. As I had this something thing, I decided also to skip this one because I've got some additional features in this previous freak something. Then I've got Spatstrument by Acus Modules. These guys have got a ton of free stuff on their website, and all this looks crazy complex and creative. That was my main thing, to review it for you, but I've got a problem, and I'll show you the problem. Not found. And I was not able to find a reliable Windows version on their website. Something's broken, or they simply, maybe it was so unstable that they decided to withdraw the Windows version from the contest. I don't know. SubSim is a subwoofer array simulator, which is kind of a visual tool showing you how the sound is propagated in the low end. Nice, but I'm not into it, maybe particularly. Then I had Solaris by Adam Szabo. Adam Szabo is the guy who made this really great sounding Virus TI recreation in VST. You probably know it, or there's a large chance you know it. Yes, this is the same guy. And he made a reverb that looks, frankly, fully commercial, like ready product that could be sold easily, not given away for free. What's cool about it, it's a shimmer reverb, so there's something to it that makes it a bit interesting. And that's the third plugin I will review for you today. Then I've got T-Rex 220E, which is a virtual instrument. These are drum pads with 12 drum sounds. Cool, but forgive me, nothing special. Then I've got Synthcraft. This one is interesting. This is kind of a synth maker. Looks very similar to synth maker, but maybe there's a chance one day it's going to be a bit more modern, even easier visually to understand and to program. So I would definitely keep my eye on it. For now, I will skip it, especially that reviewing this like hours, guys. Then M-Shift 8, which is a pitch shifter and doubler. Also tested it a bit. It crashed my DAW like 2 or 3 times, but cool tool, nothing wrong about it, but I decided to skip it too. Then I've got Sampler Pro Gate, which is a trans gate. Also tested it out, works nice, but it's just a trans gate. Nothing particular of my interest and nothing particularly creative or innovative, I would say. Then I've got a EQoder, which is a half vocoder, half equalizer, I believe. And also it crashed my DAW a couple of times, and I decided not to try to test it in depth because of this. Stability issues. Then Moaner, which is a bass synth, also tweaked it a bit. Cool sound, basic yet cool sound. I decided to skip it, and that's actually my problem, that there are no really interesting instruments, VST instruments in this contest this year. Then I've got Noisier, a simple noise generator. Noise generator, cool, but again, nothing special for me. Then I had Hyperstonic, which is a rumpler with some crazy granular-like effects. It's more like an effects machine than a regular instruments. Looks like this, and it was so kind of cluttered for me and not really visually fine that I had a problem like getting closer to it, especially that something's wrong. You cannot download it right here from KVR website. I don't know why, but of course I'm skipping it. And yeah, that's the end of the list. So we can focus on 3 of our plugins that I chose for you now. This is our session. It's the same loop that I used in a tutorial for you about separating the elements of the mix. You will find this tutorial here if you're interested. And let's take keys and let's try to make these keys work with our reverb. Let's review the reverb first. Looks like this, and this is how it sounds out of the box. Whoa, quite crazy. Guys, this plugin is totally serious. Let's try to tweak this. Okay, so this is dry wet. Warm changes the tonal quality somehow. I've got a pre-delay. Yeah, I can sing this pre-delay. Chorale. Okay, this is formant filter, which is also cool. I can transpose my shimmer also down, not only up. Let's make it here. What if... Yeah, there's also heavy modulation. Let's quit the... It could be a really cool stereo enhancement tool as well, from what I hear. And this is an excellent algorithm and excellent plugin already, if you ask me. This is a serious thing, and this is free, which is... Okay, low pass, high pass. Oh, but low pass works like high pass. I mean, it would be cool to have the anti-clockwise for low pass. Probably the only thing I would add or change right now in this plugin. And modulation. This is a really beautifully executed plugin, and it's absolutely free. And I'm wondering whether this is my pick for this year's winner. Remember, if you're a KVR user, you can vote. Also, you can set up an account out there to co-fund the prize and to vote. If you haven't got a KVR account, think about setting up one. Maybe. I'm not affiliated with KVR in any way, believe me, I'm not. And yeah, this is Solaris. Maybe let's move to this thing called ForkHz. I'm sorry, guys, ForkHz. A nice interface, I would say. Can I drag things with mouse here? Oh, I can't. What a pity. So this is my gain, this is my frequency, this is my Q. Of course, Pro Q3, generally Pro Q series by FabFilter made us all want dragging and clicking and mouse wheeling our EQs. It's not possible here. So I've got 10 bands of a pretty decent, good sounding digital EQ, I suppose. So I have high pass and high shelf, low pass, low shelf separately, and I get 10 bands which I can enable and disable. But what's cool is here. This is a simple sequencer that lets me choose some settings for each band, for low pass, high pass, for 5 bands, how much amount in each step I want. Of course, I can sync them in time to get some interesting results. And let's try to choose something like this, maybe. It's not time synced, I think. I wish I could time sync it. Okay, so I have to click time sync everywhere supposedly to make it work, I'm afraid. Which is not a cool thing. Like global sync would be really amazing. And this is the frequency change, and this is the gain change, which is really cool. I cannot modulate Q, which is a pity, of course. Of course, I'm playing around like a fool with it. There has been a similar tool. I think it was released by UVI. Am I right? Shade, yes, UVI Shade, which is of course packed with a lot of great functions, way more than this free thing, but it reminds me a bit of UVI Shade, and maybe it would still need some additional work, additional functions, more accessible GUI maybe, because not everything is crystal clear when you turn it on and you start tweaking things, like it's not too easy, global sync, for example, maybe some color contrast or stuff. Of course, clicking, dragging, mouse wheeling things would be also cool. But still, I believe this is a great starting point for a great product. In the future, also, it's stable, didn't crash. So, yeah, congrats on this, guys. And the last one I've got for you today, I'll use it on my master bus. It's called Wave Breaker, and it's a limiter, and it looks like this, or like this, Huh, that's cool. Looks very sleek, also kind of commercial, I would say, but how does it sound? Okay, so I can make gain compensation work. So I can use threshold, or probably I can use it as a maximizer so I can drive the input. Yeah, so preserve is release time, attack time is fixed or auto, looks like fixed. And you know what? It doesn't sound bad at all. Yeah, there's also a saturation, soft saturation on the output, which reminds me a bit of Smart Limit, maybe. There's a saturation out there too. Model Clarity 1. More limited models coming soon. Okay. Store default. I can store the default setting, no presets. But really, it doesn't sound bad at all. And it's completely free, guys. I would even make a shootout between this and some other limiters maybe. Free versus paid limiters, yeah, a cool idea for a video. But you know what? Not today. I want to make it reasonably short, and I'm ready to sum the things up for you now. There's no greater time for grabbing new free plugins than KVR Developers Challenge announcement. Because, yeah, new tools flowing into the contest. All of them are free. This is a prerequisite of the contest. To apply, your plugin has to be free. And many of them are really, really great, fully usable, fully functional. And I'm wondering, why are they free? Probably because the guys making them want to somehow show up on the market, so they set up their own businesses, or maybe they are hired by larger companies as developers, or maybe simply they like it and they want to have fun with the KVR community. Whatever is the reason, we, the users, are taking huge advantage of it. And my advantage this year for sure is that this crazy Solaris reverb, it will stay with me for good. I am not uninstalling this. I will be using this plugin. And this is my favorite this year, totally. And yeah, that's it. Guys, I hope you liked it. I hope you tweak some of KVR plugins this year yourself, and you'll tell me down below in the comments what's your favorite. For now, that's it. Hope to see you soon. Bye.